Hey guys, Tomboy601, and today we have a treat for you because a certain German aircraft carrier has been spotted in the live environment. That's right, Graf Zeppelin has arrived for the super testers and wargaming employees, but that means we get to get some footage of it like we have right here. So today we're going to go ahead and talk about the Graf Zeppelin, talk about the stats that we can divine from being able to be in a game with the vessel, and just kind of talk about how we expect it to come. Full transparency, I was not expecting to do this video today. I was planning on covering Skull and Bones and its launch. I'm sure Hipper VII or VII Hipper, my fellow community contributor who I know is also excited for that game, I'm sure he has a video about it, but I will probably be talking about Skull and Bones and why I'm excited for that game come Monday. Anyways, let's go ahead and dive on in. So we've hit that midway point through the update where we find out, or where Wargaming starts testing a new ship in the live environment, i.e. in the game, and take it out of the super test world to see if what they were getting data-wise in the with the super testers matches up to the real world performance. And well, Graf Zeppelin is the boat that has broken cover. So let's first talk about how the ship is implemented over on PC so we can kind of get a little bit of an understanding, and then talk about what we can divinate from this match and coming into contact with one. So let's just dive on in. First thing, the PC version, well, it's a tier 8 aircraft carrier, and pretty much everything that's been tier 8 for aircraft carrier wise is our tier 7, so this lines up perfectly with that. Over on PC, 52,600 hit points. Secondaries are kind of its shtick, what it's known for. I think one of the most famous videos about it is one by a content creator called Jingles, or the Mighty Jingles, where 2 destroyers provide the Graf Zeppelin smoke cover throughout an entire game, and it gets a ridiculous number of kills with its secondaries. I highly recommend looking it up because it is a fantastic thing, and I'm sure someone's going to try to redo that video in our game here. So let's get hyped for that. Over on the PC, it does have a 6.25 kilometer range. I don't think we're getting that sort of range out of the secondaries on this vessel, though. Armor on the ship, you're looking at about a 21 millimeters all around, with the flight deck getting 25 millimeters. On that flight deck, you have a mixture of ME 155As and TA 152C-1s/R14s are the 2 kind of planes that hang out on its flight deck over on PC. So what can we kind of divinate from this footage / this game? Well, the first thing, we do match hit points, 52,600 hit points. And I feel like the secondaries just aren't as long range. There ain't no 10 kilometer secondaries. If we see at the beginning of this, he's within 10K of another vessel, and there's no secondaries. I feel like we're gonna get like the base 5 kilometer secondaries. Who knows? Hopefully they get pushed out, because I would like a meme like that, but who knows? As far as planes go, we definitely have different planes than they do on PCs, because to my eyes, they do look like Ju-87s, aka Stukas. From what I remember, watching a documentary about Graf Zeppelin, is there was a proposal to use Stukas on the ship to save money. I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like we do get Ju-87s. The other thing I was able to try, we broke out the high-tech editing once again to try to divinate the airspeed of these vessels, and I'll go ahead and play that work for you here. But I feel like I'm way off on this, or my test methodology came up just short, because it took a regular August von Parseval's planes going 161 knots, 9.95 seconds to go the distance of 1 square, and it took Graf Zeppelin's planes 16.25 seconds to go that same distance, or about the same distance, which means they averaged like 98 knots, so under 100 knots. I know I could definitely feel and see them slowing down the Stukas just to make it like play differently than the August One Parsifal, but I don't see them being below 100 knots, because that is miles behind any other aircraft carrier. So they may be slow planes, but if they are, I hope they are very sturdy, because they will need to be given how much AA fire they're going to take. As far as what we have up in the air, well, they do have the 2 squadrons. The torpedo planes are kind of what is the bread and butter of this vessel over on PC. You have 9 planes with each flight, and they drop 3 torpedoes per drop. I purposely got hit by one of the torpedoes, and it did 4,602 damage to the nose of my Fletcher. Now, I could have gotten damage saturated there, and that could be just low, or we could be looking at about a 4,600 base alpha strike for those torpedoes. Also, in this match, you may notice a fellow community contributor of mine, the king of Krakens himself, Metajerk, was on the enemy team in the Oosterjotland. I believe he called my grand strategy of charging up the middle and trying to get sunk as quick as possible so I could film the Graf Zeppelin. I think he seemed like my plan was a little ambitious when he was on the other side and didn't realize what I was doing, because yeah, I definitely just charged like straight into the enemy lines trying to get sunk. Anyways, we moving on, let's go ahead and talk about the bombers. Now, I've received a couple of messages saying that it has HE bombers, but from what I can tell, these feel like AP bombers. I haven't seen them catch anything on fire, so I'm sticking with their AP bombers. Also, I feel like they just wouldn't really make sense to nerf, like to put HE bombers when the whole German shtick is the AP bombs. I just don't feel like it's quite there. As far as when you are up in the air with those bombers, you do have 8 planes up in the air, and you drop 2 at a time, so you get 4 whole drops per each squadron. So that is a big, healthy amount of them. So with all of that said, how do I think the Graf Zeppelin is going to be implemented in the game? That is the interesting thing, because usually around this time is when we see both the campaign ship and whatever other ships that are going to be released in the update kind of put out. Now, last update, we did have the Independence in early testing, and then I think 2 weeks prior, we then saw the Black out and about. Maybe that's what's occurring here. Maybe the Graf Zeppelin, just given how many more people are seeing tier 7s, we are seeing it a lot more out and about, and it's going to be a bureau project. But I think right now it's not going to end up being a bureau project until we see another ship break cover. I'm going to assume this is going to be the campaign ship for the next update, but I may be proven wrong, right? We'll keep an eye out there. We'll keep our eyes on the horizons. If there is another sort of ship that comes out and breaks cover from the super testers, then we know that will most likely be the campaign ship. Of course, next update is going to be jammed pack with the 4 lines of tier 8 vessels being injected into the game. So there is going to be a lot to do. They may be kind of taking it easy with a carrier-based campaign, but who knows? Like right now, like I said, my feeling, it's going to be a campaign ship, but the history, the patterning of putting tier 7 carriers in the bureau, I would not be surprised if it ends up there. So yeah, guys, that's the Graf Zeppelin. I'm quite excited for it. You know, it's been one of those ships that's been teased for a while. It's one of the big, I really wanted in the game sort of ships. It's the historical ship. It's the only German aircraft carrier that got close to completion, right? Like, it's a kind of a big deal. So I'm glad to see it in the game. Anyways, guys, if you liked the video, go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. See ya.